through variety, really entertained and performed for our families. So Frankie didn't go to the camp. You know, he wasn't part of our programs, but we bumped into Frankie because of Vince Marinello and his talents. And Frankie started to perform at our galas, at some of our events, and magic happened, right? So just to read Frankie's story, Francis Joseph Isabella Jr. was born on April 30th, 1988. He came into this world with more than 3 strikes against him. Born with a rare syndrome, a syndrome that most people never even heard of, a syndrome that many doctors and nurses didn't even know what it was. 2 digits on the right hand, webbed fingers on the left. 1 foot with no toes, the other foot with webbed toes. No gag reflux, making it difficult to swallow. No cranial nerves in his face, making it impossible to smile. A heart murmur, a very weak voice, ear problems, and eye problems. Due to the untiring efforts of his mother, Maureen, who passed away at 30 years of age of brain aneurysm, Frankie overcame many of these obstacles. For many years, there were countless visits to DuPont Hospital for tests and operations. Frankie's had over 22 operations. And again, this was back in 2003, so that number is much higher. And to this day, Frankie still goes for checkups and evaluations and gradually overcomes many of these problems. Frankie's grandfather, a retired music teacher in the public school systems, would hold Frankie in his arms, sing songs and scales to him, always encouraging him to sing out. Frankie's voice was very weak, and his grandfather would hold him and keep singing to him, always trying to get him to sing louder. His voice gradually got stronger and stronger. Frankie would watch and listen to his grandfather play on the piano and sing. His grandmother, Paulina, loved to sing the song Mama. She would sing it at parties, weddings, and social gatherings. Frankie always would be watching and listening, absorbing what he heard and saw. One day when he was about 4 or 5 years old, he walked up to his grandfather, who was playing the piano at the time, and said, "Pop, Pop, can I sing Mama?" That was the initial introduction of Frankie. So I learned that story. He came up, he came to CFG, actually sang some songs at a mastermind, and changed some lives. And then last year, he wrote another letter to Vince Marinello. Dear Vince, I find it hard to express myself, to call you on the phone and even explain in detail what I'm about to explain to you. I know you've been very occupied lately with Betty, and I'm so glad to hear she's doing well. I have received all of your emails. The past 3 months have been very rough on me. My health is slowly deteriorating. I've been to numerous neurosurgeons in the Philadelphia area and in the New Jersey area, and they were all supposed to be the best. They all came up with the result that I have to go undergo surgery, and the surgery would take away the numbness in my left leg and left arm and the pain in the brain that I'm having. The bad side is that from that surgery, I will never walk again. I will be wheelchair bound, and to me that's like a life sentence. It may sound selfish on my part, but I have many reasons why I feel this way. And then Frankie goes on to talk about, his new condition. And then he says, I find it so hard to come to the realization that I have such a serious condition because in my 23 years of life, I faced many obstacles, but obstacles that always seem to have a fix or a happy ending. The obstacle seems to be never-ending one. Prayers and belief for what I feel I am left with now. I do believe in miracles because I am a living miracle. My father and grandfather are a complete wreck and devastated, so I tell them only what is most important. My sister has been really great as far as being there for me through this and maintaining my dignity and treating me like nothing is wrong, because that is what I need the most. Not to be treated like a charity case, but to be treated as Frankie Isabella. And most of all, my true love, who I doubted for a while, Alicia, has been there for me every day and every hour, every step of the way. She switched colleges to be with me. At the end of this month, she's moving in with me and will attend a college near me. I have all the support that I could possibly need from my family, but I just felt it was really time for me to tell you what I'm facing. And it's no secret anymore that I'm sick. I consider you and Variety a precious gem and a true friend. You've been there for me every step, and the way your generosity has and never will be forgotten. The Variety Club has made such an impact on my life. I wasn't a kid who attended the camp or received assistance from the charity, but the people who I have met and performed for through the years have meant so much to me. It's opened up so many doors that I never dreamed possible. And then he goes on into another email. He got a different diagnosis and he's getting other treatment, so he doesn't have to get surgery at this point. So he explains that. But at the end, he says, the room I'll be getting is like a condo. He's describing the facility in New York. It has a kitchen, bathroom. It's like a fancy hotel. All I'll need to bring is some clothes and, of course, my girlfriend, who lives with me and is by my side every minute. And last, my portable keyboard so I can stay active with my music. Other than that, this illness can really fool me sometimes because I get so mixed up with my memory to the point where I don't know whether I should put the right shoe on the left foot or the left shoe on the right foot. But guess what? They can't fool Frankie Isabella. I've been around for 23 years and plan on seeing my 80th birthday just like you. This is just another bump in the road that I'll manage to get past. After all, life is what you make out of it. And with faith and strong will to do the unthinkable, I'm sure I could do it. And the reason I know that I could do it is because when I met people like Russell Oman and Amanda McGrory, and Little Dylan, and so many others from the Variety Club, they are my heroes and motivators. So with that, with all that jazz being said, have a happy holiday. So when you're going through it, right, think of Frankie. And Frankie's came here today. He's going to perform. So you heard his story, but his performance is also a gift. So at this time, I'd like to call Frankie up to give us a little entertainment. What do you say, Frank?
Thank you. I had to save you there with the microphone. I had to save you.
You always save me.
And I got to say to all the people that are listening, Frank mentioned that I did not attend the camp, and there was a lot of things that I didn't do, but I will tell you what the Variety Club has done for me. From a young age, even though I could sing and play the piano, most people in general would look at me and say, oh, he probably sings, you know, You Are My Sunshine, and, you know, sings Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. You know, they wouldn't believe it. So what the Variety Club has really done for me, short and simple, is in 2002, my father got a call, and I was at a young age, I was about 13, and they asked if I would perform at the Tournament of Champions Gala. And from that year, my father said, you know, you got to rent a tuxedo and everything. And at that time, I didn't even know what the hell a tuxedo was. I didn't even own one, you know. And I got up there and sang, and I said, this is my sense of belonging. This is where I belong. And it's people like you and this organization that made this possible. And what the Variety Club has done for me is in 2005, they honored me with the Frankie Isabella Entertainment Award. And from that day on, everybody in the Delaware Valley calls Frankie for their private events and their, you know, corporate functions, and it's given me a whole new life and makes me survive each day to be able to function day to day, you know. And that's truly what the Variety Club's done for me. Because the entertainers, they don't know who I am, but the Variety Club does know who I am. And, you know, when Variety Club did that award, the name got out there and I did start doing my stuff. So I want to thank you, Fran, because it's people like you that make this possible. And you never get older. You always stay the same. You look like the same guy when I met you. And I was a little guy. Came in with the Frank Sinatra hat and everything. You remember that age? I really thought I was a big thing, right? So I learned that you don't wear a hat in a building. You wear it outside. But if I can, I would like to sing a song. Is that fine with you guys? Thank you.